Hey everybody, I'm Brian,
I'm Wolf.
and this is the X Minutes podcast, the podcast that breaks down the, at the time of filming, longest running superhero franchise without a reboot, 1 minute at a time. We're on minute 4 of X Men, and Wolf, what happened?
Yeah, shit starts getting real. Pardon my French. They
That's a
they
European
take
language, so.
exactly. They separate Eric from his parents, close the gate. It's just a real tense moment. I really love how the director just the stakes are so high, and as they're pulling Eric away, you see him like he's reaching for his parents. He hears his mother's screams, and that's when his powers start to manifest. Like he takes control of that metal and just rips open the gate. It's almost like, if you want something bad enough, it'll
Okay.
just manifest. And in this case, granted he's a mutant, uh yeah.
Yeah, right in the beginning, I was noticing that, well, one, while she's screaming, there's a guy over the father's shoulder that kind of just looks annoyed at her screams. But I had noticed this before. The father literally just puts his hand over her mouth to
Oh,
stop
dang.
her eventually.
Yeah.
Because there's a soldier right near him. He must know there could be worse repercussions if he doesn't stop her from screaming. And
Yeah.
it was interesting. It must have been interesting if this was real for that soldier to be like, "Hey, I need help with this little boy. He's not moving. Like
Yeah,
I'm
right.
trying to pull him, but it's not doing it." And also, the pose even at that point is more like, "Why are you doing
Yeah.
this?" And it's not so much pulling the gate. It's kind of more theatrical, like, "Why, oh why? Oh
You know,
no. My hand, what do
please.
I do with my hands when I'm
Right.
in pain?" But then we get a couple more. Now we see him pulling the gate, and he's actually dragging the guards to the point where three others, I believe, run up. No, the two others. So there's a total of four guards holding him and sliding through the mud, though. And he bends the gates more and more until one guy hits him in a very clever angle for filmmaking.
Yeah,
Just
like
boom.
I didn't realize, um, I didn't notice until you just pointed it out. It's like those dudes were really trying to subdue like just a kid,
Yeah.
and they just were having so much trouble. But when you think about it, it's like it's pretty much he was pretty much holding on to the gate. They
Yeah.
couldn't move him because he had like a magnetic bond to the gate. That was pretty cool.
And he moved them,
Yeah,
in
right.
fact,
It's
a
fucking
couple
crazy.
times. But I laughed when I was rewatching this just because of that one guy who the kid lands on. He just shoves him off, just like, ugh, get this shit off me. Pardon my
Yeah, right.
French.
Like
And
this. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
oh no, I was gonna say, and even one of the guys who fell back was really disoriented. The
Yeah,
whiplash that he had from suddenly that force not holding him up really knocked him into the mud.
yeah. Like I
But
remember, like speaking of like um, actors working in like a fake rain, Hank Azaria, in an interview, he said that when he didn't realize how terrible it is working in rain, so he told his friend, he was like, "Yeah, I got a part on Godzilla, and we're gonna be shooting in the rain for like a month." And they were like, "No, that's gonna suck because you're just constantly wet, cold, just just like distilled water just being poured on you and filtered and poured back on you. It's just I could only imagine what it would be like filming in this mud too."
yeah, while I don't think it's a great film and definitely not one of the better in the franchise, I was watching the special features for Hobbs and Shaw when the director was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
our final fight is gonna be in the mud in rain," and everyone's like, do we really have to?" He's like, "Yeah, it's gonna look great." Like
right,
he knew everyone would hate it.
right.
But yeah, we do end on uh, this at the time unnamed boy. I don't know who this could be. Just coughing in the rain and mud, getting more rain on his face. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've got. We don't have a good look at what the gate looks like after it bent a little bit. Even the little bits of barbed wire started bending.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. That was like a nice little detail they added.
Actually, I just noticed if you go in order when it the first time the gate is bending from the top, the little barbed
Hmm.
wire is already bent towards him. But then
Oh yeah.
later we get a different shot that shows us. So they actually took the shots of the barbed wire and put it out of order. It should have been. I mean, of course they filmed it like this, but I guess it just made for a better edit. Um, they filmed it to
Oh yeah, I
show
see what
the
you're
barbed
saying.
wire bend first, then the big gate. But I bet
Yeah,
that worked better since the first shot we got was a close up, and then we get wider and wider.
yeah, yeah. I think this shot. I mean, this shot aged pretty well. Like a lot of the film, I don't think aged very well, but I think this one really did hold up. Um, even to this day, it's like, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can't say that the costumes didn't age well since the director came back and forced us to go back to leather.
Yeah,
But
right.
but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, maybe have. Yeah, I don't know how this would have worked if we had this opening sequence and we did the costumes of. I was gonna say then the costumes of First Class, but then I remembered we literally started with this again, so I do know how
Yeah.
it would work. But that's all I've got for this minute. How about you?
Yeah, yeah, all set.
Cool beans. That was minute 4, I believe. Why do I keep
Mm-hmm.
forgetting? Yes, it was. All right, we'll evolve ourselves into minute 5. We're gonna be a cinco cell organism instead of
Oh
a
yeah.
single cell one for horrible puns. But we'll see you over there.
Camera speeding.
They better slow down if they don't want a speeding ticket. That's how unprofessional I am. Like, what's speeding? It must be driving.